Hello and welcome back to English and Wealth. Let me start with a quick puzzle. A bat and a ball cost £1.10 in total. The bat costs exactly £1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? If the first answer that jumped into your mind was 10p, your brain just played a trick on you. We'll reveal the answer later. Today, we're debating the core idea from a Nobel Prize-winning masterpiece, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. And I know that puzzle is designed to show the flaws in our thinking, but I'm going to argue that the kind of fast, intuitive thinking that gets it wrong is also the very same thinking that helps us survive and make thousands of correct decisions every day. We shouldn't be so quick to dismiss it.
An excellent point to begin our debate. Kahneman's brilliant theory is that we have two systems of thought. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional, and intuitive. It's the part of your brain that answered 10p. System 2 is slow, effortful, logical, and deliberate. It's the part of your brain you have to consciously engage to solve a difficult maths problem.
Let's define deliberate. For our listeners, it's an adjective, deliberate, that means done consciously and intentionally. And my point is we can't be deliberate all the time. If you had to use slow, system 2 thinking for every choice, what to eat, which way to turn, whether to trust someone's smile, you'd never get out of bed. You'd be stuck in analysis paralysis.
And that's a great idiom. Analysis paralysis is the state of overthinking a situation so much that you never make a decision. And you are right, we need System 1 to function. The problem is that our System 1 is lazy. It looks for the easiest, most familiar answer, what Kahneman calls cognitive ease, and it often makes huge mistakes with our money because of it. It's why we buy things on impulse or panic sell our investments.
But are you suggesting we should ignore our intuition? That's what System 1 is. For our listeners, intuition is that feeling of knowing something immediately without conscious reasoning. For centuries, we've been told to go with your gut. That's another idiom, meaning to trust your intuition. Is that always wrong? Sometimes your gut feeling about a person or a situation is far more accurate than any slow, logical analysis.
It's not that your gut is always wrong, but it is often unreliable in complex situations where statistics and logic should rule, like investing. System 1 evolved to help us decide if a shadow in the grass was a predator, not to calculate compound interest. The key is to recognize when your System 1 is likely to make a mistake, and then deliberately engage the slower, more critical System 2 to double-check its work.
So the goal isn't to get rid of our fast thinking, but to build a kind of mental alarm bell that tells us when we need to slow down and think properly.
Precisely. And by the way, the answer to the puzzle is that the ball costs 5p. £1.05 for the bat, 5p for the ball, total is £1.10. Your System 1 shouts 10p, but your System 2, when you engage it, can work out the correct answer.
That makes sense. Let's look at a real-world example of this, the supermarket.
A perfect case study. Supermarkets are designed to appeal to your System 1. The bright colors, the smell of fresh bread, the special offers at the end of aisles, the sweets placed right by the checkout. It's all designed to trigger fast, emotional, impulse decisions.
That's your System 1 in action. You go in for a pint of milk and come out with a basket full of things you didn't plan to buy. So what's the System 2 defense?
The System 2 defense is beautifully simple. Make a shopping list before you go and stick to it. The list is a slow, deliberate plan. It's your logical System 2 creating a rule for your fast, impulsive System 1 to follow. It's a perfect example of the two systems working together correctly.
Okay, that was a fascinating and very practical deep dive. Let's recap the ideas from thinking fast and slow. First, we learned that we have two modes of thought. System 1, fast and intuitive, and System 2, slow and deliberate. I argued that we need our System 1 intuition, and that trying to use System 2 for everything would lead to analysis paralysis.
I argued that System 1 is the source of many of our biases, and that we need to engage System 2 for important decisions.
In the end, we concluded that the goal isn't to stop trusting our gut, but to learn when to slow down and double-check its conclusions with our more logical mind.
And now it's time for our new segment, designed to help you use the vocabulary we discuss. It's called Build a Better Sentence. I'm going to give you a very simple sentence, and Chloe's challenge is to make it better using one of our key words from today.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the sentence?
The simple sentence is, he made a slow and careful choice.
Okay, that's perfectly fine, but we can make it more sophisticated. My upgraded sentence is, he ignored his intuition and made a deliberate choice.
Excellent. Let's discuss the improvement. My sentence is simple and clear, but yours is much more powerful. Why is deliberate a better word here than slow and careful?
Because deliberate contains the meaning of both slow and careful. It implies a process of careful thought and intention. It perfectly describes the action of using your System 2 thinking, which was the main topic of our debate.
Exactly. It's a more precise and intellectual word. So for our listeners, that's a perfect example of how you can take a simple idea and express it in a more advanced way. That's your challenge this week. Try to use the word deliberate.
So that's all we have time for today. A discussion that makes you think about how you think.
It does. And our reflection question for you is this. The next time you make a small impulsive decision this week, like buying a coffee or a snack, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this my System 1 talking? And does my System 2 agree?
Just that small pause can make a huge difference.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope this debate has given you a new perspective. Join us next week on the Freedom Equation.
Don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast app. Until next time, keep learning.
And keep thinking. Goodbye for now.